Hello friends, it's Kimberly here. We're going to talk about something that comes up all the time. How do you balance your logical mind, the grounded, organized part of you that's practical and gets things done, with your intuitive wisdom? I'm going to talk about a couple of examples like moving or choosing a school for your child or a job, and give you 3 ways to bring in more of your intuition, even when you're doing things that seem like more your logical mind would be steering the boat. Have you ever felt that tug of war happen when you're like, this is what the spreadsheet says, or my pros and cons list says this, but then your gut says, no, that just doesn't feel right. Both are correct. They just speak different languages, and truly in the end, we want your logical mind to be the servant of your intuitive wisdom. So here are 3 ways for them to work together instead of fight with each other. The first way is to feel into the energy first. So let's say you're making a decision with 3 different options. You can put options 1, 2, and 3 down on a piece of paper if you're kind of like to do things through writing, and write down perhaps the names of the jobs or locations or schools. And then as you pick up each of those pieces of papers, just noticing what happens in your body. Remember that your intuition is it comes through best when you're in a receptive state. So you're not like forcing yourself, like, tell me more about this school or this apartment. Will I be happy here? You're just holding it in your hand and noticing the very subtle things that happen in your body. Notice the thoughts that you have in your mind, things that you hear. You might even get clairvoyant images. Sometimes I like to hold a question. So what's important for me to know about, this apartment? And hold it in your hand and simply allow the information to come. So you're just feeling it into energy. The second thing, if you feel like your mind already has things to say and it's very aware of the pros and cons list and the cost of the mortgage or the rent, you can do a blind reading. Now, you might not believe me, but give it a try. So let's say again that you're exploring 3 different options. Put those options in an envelope and then simply hold the blank envelope so you don't know what you're reading in your hand. You can ask the question, what is important for me to know about the energy of this job, place, school, etc. Track it, write it down, and then eventually you'll open it up and you'll know what you were reading. The second way is to get your mind involved, but by asking good questions and supportive questions. I like to do this through writing, but you might like to do this through typing or voice memo. Questions like, what is the higher purpose of this decision, or this move, or this school? What am I not seeing? What might this open up for me is another good question to ask. Or how could this whole experience help me grow? These kinds of questions help you understand that by choosing a school or a home or a job, there's generally like a soul level purpose of something that's going on. I'll give the example of moving here to Santa Monica. When we moved here about 5 years ago, I was feeling into 3 different school options that were really, a mile or 2 apart for my child who was going into 5th grade. And on paper, they all seemed very similar, like good school ratings. They were just in different parts of the neighborhood. And in that situation, what I did was ask questions about what's important for my child when it comes to, the 5th grade school. And it was interesting because the most important thing was not about the teachers or necessarily the school itself, but it was the people that he would meet that kind of took me to a certain direction. This kind of open curiosity and reflection, having these good intuitive questions, are also ways to give your rational mind a little bit more perspective. The third way is to test it out in real life. So if possible, to let yourself experience that place, that school, that work environment, that home directly in your body. If it's not possible, you can do that through pictures. Again, when I was driving around this area, I just imagined where my 5th grader, where I could see him walking into the doors, kind of bouncing in. And Notice what you're feeling in your body. Let's say it's a place that you're considering moving to, and you walk in or you walk around that neighborhood, just tracking and journaling on what do you feel, what are you noticing? Do you feel more openness, more coldness? Are you drawn to certain places? It's interesting as well. I'll share another story. Before I knew I was moving to this city, I came on a visit and I just drove around and I let myself just kind of wander in the car and also on bicycle. I remember just stopping in some places where I just felt like, oh, this feels really good. And I took pictures. So I have pictures of like the trees that I liked on the streets. And it's interesting now that I go back and I look at, well, where was I kind of vibing with? Like, what did I really like? And one of the streets is just 2 minutes from my home. So it's almost like I let my body tell me, like, this feels right. This feels like home. The next time you're making a big decision of any kind that involves your rational mind and your intuitive wisdom, remember these 3 things. 1 is to feel first, feel into the energy. Number 2, ask good questions. And number 3, if at all possible, test it out with your body. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm also going to link a video on how to activate your intuition in 4 easy steps, the AART method. I've got intuition labs coming up, 1 to 1.5 hour labs where you can do fun practice exercises with your intuition. And starting in January, I'll be holding a 6-month program for intuition development for all levels. So if you want to develop your psychic senses, please join me. The waiting list will be open very soon. All the information will be down below. All right, my friend, thank you for listening. Bye and watching.